Day chess stream. We've changed the subject. Used to be Wednesdays I was doing unusual openings, but since we cut the Wednesday stream for the summer, we got feedback hearing myself. Fix that. So since I changed it for the summer, we're gonna sometimes, in accordance with Mr. S4, who's here in the chat, we're gonna try to sometimes do the unusual opening stream on Mondays. So today is one of those days where we're gonna do just that. It's hot here, guys. It's a sad day. A sad day for me and my family because our turtle died tragic and suddenly without warning. I've been burying the turtle in the backyard this afternoon, so just have a moment of silence for the turtle. Okay, so turtle passed away last night or this morning. I don't know why. He hadn't been eating very much, and he was kind of breathing a little bit strangely, but I didn't think he was sick. And that's it. So we lost our turtle we had for 6 years. As far as the chess stream goes, we are doing unusual openings today, guys. So it's 5+3 through 7+3, casual, Blitz/rapid. Thank you for your kind words of consolement. Merle Dixon, Astrobate, Bob, Mr. Coffee, and S4. Actually, S4 had wanted to see the turtle. Now he's gone. But very suddenly, I thought he would outlive me, to be honest. Bob, not a sentimental guy, are you? But no, I just value, life, and I'm sorry for the turtle. So we're gonna get started here, guys. I got challenges from Morwa, Astrobate, Wubba Dubba Lub Lub. Let me get some coffee. I was digging a grave for my turtle in the backyard. Pretty tough job. I wouldn't want to be a grave digger. Well, the turtle's appetite wasn't good, but I didn't think he was ill, and he started breathing, kind of taking deep breaths, but he seemed okay. He was acting normal. And then he was just dead today. So what's up, guys? No, turtle passed away. My snapping turtle. So we're gonna get started here. More Waz first. We're gonna take actually subscribers. Merle Dixon is it's a character from Zombie Apocalypse. What's it called? The Walking Dead. All right, Morwa will be first. This is not an easy game. The theme of today is unusual openings. I want to get an easier low-rated opponent, but I got a tough 2064 in round one. Seriously, that's got to be like one of the toughest jobs in the world, digging graves. Alright, D4, unusual openings. I can't play the Budapest Gambit against Morwa because he likes to play that himself. It doesn't have to be totally unusual. Let's play the Dutch against Morwa and see what we get. Yeah, Bob's been trying to troll me with this Red Sox thing. He found a kind of weak point and he's pushing it now to see how much he can disturb me by... I don't know, Bob. You're kind of a troublemaker, but you're also sort of an instigator. C4. Yeah, the Red Sox lead over the Yankees passed away to equal yesterday. Now they're only equal, the Yankees, which is really, really sad. Sad and disgraceful. D4, F5, C4. I saw Chernyshov play b6. This is really pushing it. Trying to play the... Let's try it, though. You know, it's unusual openings. Well, sorry, I didn't realize the video started. I was only seeing the chat. I hope the video started. I actually didn't check it myself. We are good to go. So I play b6 early. Let's get a little bit of force controlling the center. Maybe managers are overrated, Bob. Knight f3. Or maybe old managers, you know, are usually pretty bad. So knight f3, knight f6 or e6 here. Everything is pure luck. Not even in poker is that true. This could transpose to the English defense now. I guess I should go ahead and play knight f6 at this point. It's okay, I'm on mobile, says Mr. Coffee. I guess you can see the chat without the video, so my bad. No problem, man. Statistics and computers manage team. Exactly. These younger managers, and I'm sure this is the case in all sports, are relying more and more on you know, computer programs, statistics, automated kind of things. Bishop f4, interesting choice. Trying to put pressure on this diagonal here. Probably not a big deal. I always thought that playing bishop f4 against the Dutch was kind of strange, because the bishop has a tendency to get hit by like rolling advancing pawns, i.e. g5 or e5. But I suppose against this English defense style setup, it's not quite as dangerous as in some cases. Go Nimzo. Now it's a weird Nimzo. Turkey Farm is just like, it's also basically a Nimzo with f5 played. Well, it wasn't until, it can't be a Nimzo until I played bishop b4. Now it's a Nimzo. You know, someone brought that up in a comment, you know, maybe I was teaching a lesson, or I don't remember. Someone, I think it was Move 11. Suggested bishop f4 against the Nimzo. It's funny how that's not, you know, it's like not a move. It's pretty weird when you think about it. Why shouldn't it be a move? This even feels like premature to play knight e4. I'm constantly criticizing Astrobate and other people. Why did you move your knight twice in the opening? How could you move your knight twice? But here there's more like a concrete idea that pseudo justifies it. Pinning and winning. G5 is even possible. Don't think so. Not today. Bishop takes c3. We could play. Maybe d6 drops a piece, Bob style. Bob is not going to be happy with that comment. Bob's going to needle me. This, my father was old school. He used to say this, needle people. If Bob's going to needle me, I'm going to needle him about little jokes, little inside jokes. Hey Bob, let's drop a piece with d6 or something. But, alright. Bishop d3. I almost did it, Bob. It's not a joke, you know. Most jokes are like half-truth. I almost really did d6. If I was any more sleepy than I am now, I would have done it. Okay, so I've got a castle. We'll play this pure, straightforward Nimzovich style. Castle. And then we take on c3, then we play d6, and we continue to play Nimzovichian setup. Man, I need this coffee, guys. Thanks for joining me here. International Master William Paschall. Ooh, h4. He called him the panda. Hey. What are you doing? Wow, h4. Where are you going to put your king? There's no king. Okay, king on e2. Good job, man. That's the chess panda. Anytime you play h4 in the first stages of the game, you're going to summon the chess panda. Panda summon. Panda summoning. h4 looks suicidal. I wouldn't be that harsh on h4. It just looks like you're going to create... you're going to create a situation where your king doesn't have a harmonious place to go. I mean, I think that castling there was the normal move. Probably Morwa was concerned about some sort of getting rolled with g5, but truthfully, I think if I ever did g5, he would play bishop takes e4, you know, and then I would hang the g5 pawn. So he didn't need to do h4 to stop g5. Now, is h6 a threat? Perhaps. I don't know, I'm just going to go with the flow. Go with the flow. White usually gets the g-file open against him, I find in Nimzo. Well, if you ever, like, saw, what's his name? Yevgeny Bareyev, very strong player from the late 80s through the mid 90s. Bareyev in particular, specialist on the white side of the Nimzo. Both f3 and queen c2. He loved to go g4 and turn the g-file against black. What's this? So bishop takes. I don't know, I guess take with the bishop, keep the bishop's diagonal open. I'm so tempted to take with that pawn. Maybe this is just a bad move. Because Morwa can play knight g5 now. Very unorthodox position. Okay, knight g5, queen e7. Not clear what's going on. But one thing is clear, I've used too much time. Not this easy. I can play really, like, pretty straightforward pawn structure chess here. I was concerned about knight g5, probably not such a big deal now. He still has this stupid h6 move, which weakens my dark squares. But I was afraid to play h6 because whenever I do that, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. Two minutes. Man. Bareyev. Mr. Fast. Maybe Morwa's going to castle queenside. It's obviously his plan here. No. Not a good idea. Oh, man. Alright. He's trying to take me out. Queen e2, I guess, protecting that pawn. Ooh, he found a place. A place for the king. Now we have ideas. Oh no. Alright. Controversial. Controversial location. We're much more harmonious than white here. Now, begin some concrete ideas. Okay, bring it on the white squares. Still not that easy to finish him off. Where's my time? That looks like a bad move. I don't see any reason for Morwa to play d takes e. I think he just sort of panicked. He's actually helping me with that move. Otherwise I was going to have to take with a pawn on c4, which looked kind of lame. Now it's just terrible for white. With the monster knight. It's not over till it's over. Till the fat lady sings. That's not politically correct to say that, right? Goodness, grape juice. He resigned. But why? Oh, there's a check. I win a rook. That's good. Yeah, I missed the obvious. Queen h1. Bob, you would have liked my dad. You guys would have got along pretty well. But, you know. That's another generation. They can be forgiven. So, f takes e4. Let's just have this thing where 0.5 seconds before they play a move, they see everything that would hang, and I need to learn that. It's like an intuitive thing. I think it's second nature. It's like your intuition. Spectacular Camel, thanks to the 100 bits. He's calling for a Nimzovich defense, guys. I think we can arrange that. I need white to help and play e4. And Saul, new week, new games, 10 bits. Actually, Saul, I'm doing this stream because of you, because I wanted to include weird opening streams. Since we did away with Wednesday for the summer for 2 months, cut down to 5 streams, usually at 6. I am going to play the Nimzovich defense. Did he slay fat women? No, he just called people whales. It was very, you know, politically incorrect. Alright. It wasn't a sexist thing. Where is Soltigo? Is he here? Because he needs to keep the chat in order. We might be missing Soltigo today. Did anybody notice that Soltigo said he wasn't going to make it today? I haven't checked my messages. What an insult to call people whales. Well, I'm talking about people from, you know, an old generation. Yeah, there are worse insults. Alright. Black's playing... Yeah, we'll make this an Owen defense. Alright, we'll let Asterbate play the unusual opening here. Order in the court. Now, don't remind me... That reminds me of, like, Aaron Judge and the Yankees. And the fans at the Yankee Stadium who are, like, dressed up as judges. Don't do that, Soltigo. Just disturbing me even more. Just finished cooking dinner. So it's like a slightly improved Owen defense here. He can also play a Sicilian with c5. But thank you for bringing order to the chat, Mr. Soltigo. I just want to make an announcement that my turtle passed away today. And we had a moment of silence at the beginning of the stream. I was very surprised and very saddened to lose the turtle. He was 6 years old. Didn't realize he was really sick, but he passed away. So very strange move now from Asterbate. I don't get this. Basically, you don't want to interfere with your bishop on b7. I mean, this is a common theme in the Queen's Indian. It's a problem knight in the Queen's Indian. You can play different openings. You can play the hippopotamus. No, and actually many openings in knight on c6 is a problem. In the Najdorf, in Sicilians, it gets in the way of the c file. Thanks, Soltigo. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. But this knight c6 looks bad because I'm just hitting with d4. We'll have d5 with tempo, you know, very likely at some point. And even if we don't do that, even if we don't extend to d5, his knight is badly placed on c6, interfering with the bishop on b7. So he's lots of good moves there. I mean, e6 like standard, you know, Nim's whatever, Owen defense, even English defense. Knight f6, kind of like an accelerated Owen defense, and c5, a variation of the Sicilian that Christian Bauer's played, and I think it's a good version. Well, he doesn't have as many options to play like c3 or c4. Only in this case, kind of a mainline Sicilian approach. So, as far as pushing d5, I think that it might be good, but you have to be careful. It can be overextending too. So it's not always good to push in this sort of situation. I mean, I may, and I talked about this with one of my students last week, you know, maybe we want his knight to remain on c6. I mean, it's actually in a bad position. And when you have an opponent with a piece in a bad position, thanks, Wub. Yeah, I don't know. I did the best to help the turtle, and I thought he was going to be okay. Actually, got a nice light for him. He was well fed. I don't know, but hard to keep animals in captivity. All right, Bob. Soft shell melted cheese. Whitey tacos. You guys are killing me. All right, e6. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to go d5. I'm going to take the space. The computer would almost certainly play this. But in some respect, I think I'm actually forcing him to move a misplaced piece. You know, so maybe it would be better not to do that now. I think his best move, I'm going to guess, is a little abstract. In knight e7, probably. Because from that square he can pop over to g6, or even back to c8, you know, if it's necessary to like defend against something like d6, pawn takes pawn, knight b5, knight c8. So I think that knight b4 probably not as good as that. Now I can play a3, or I can leave it on b4. Again, not that simple. Even knight b4 is not that bad, probably. Unless I can trap it with, let's see, a6. Well, I mean, I chase it to a6. If it goes to c5, I have b4, and it has nowhere good to go from there. So we'll play a3. You guys are crazy. I ate oysters for lunch today. If I had known the turtle had died, I wouldn't have eaten anything. I would have been like depressed, but I didn't find out till this afternoon the turtle had passed away, so just burning off my lunch by burying the turtle. A3, knight a6, no choice here. Nothing fancy. No raw oysters, Bob. No, I'm not going to go as far as to play like b4. I think that's really overextending, not necessary. Let's support our center. Support your local center. But why are you asking me how deep I buried it? Several feet down. Does anyone know the amazing game in the Modern Defense, Nestorovich versus Popchev? All I know is that I lost to Popchev. He played like a ridiculous opening against me. It was really stupid. Something like d4, knight f6. He was white. Popchev, speaking of unusual openings, it was like d4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, bishop e3. He did something really ridiculous, like bishop e3. Just totally absurd. And I have b4. Driving him back. It's a large turtle. It was a Bob, it was a snapping turtle. Like a fully grown snapping turtle. Not a little toy turtle. Okay. It was a family pet, you know. If I didn't bury it several feet down, like, you know, raccoons or some sort of small animals might dig it up. Queen e7 check. And now he saves his knight with the knight e4. There is a sick move for me here. OutsideTheBox.com. Oh no. Masturbate. See guys, this is an excellent example of thinking outside the box. Yes, King d2. Winning the game. Well, anyway, I mean, Soltigo will probably mate me here, actually. Better not give him any ideas. Black could have played g6 there. I mean, that was kind of scary. If you put Soltigo in this position, he's like g6. g6, rook e1, bishop h6, mate? No. I have to lose the exchange with rook e3. Actually, I can take on c5 and just put my king on d3 and pray that that's probably okay. Okay, so Bob has some... Bob, I'm calling, because I'm talking to Bob in chat, but... OutsideTheBox.com, but it won't load. I was just kidding. I mean, it sounds like a great chess site, though. Now we've got to be a little bit on the safe side. Okay, f2's hanging. My bishop's hanging. I could free a square for my king at d1. It's also useful. You're talking about pets. Merle Dixon. It can also be a state requirement to bury them at least several feet down. It's also a state requirement not to drink alcohol on the beach. But when I went to the beach yesterday, like 90% of the people were drinking alcohol. I mean, so much for like state requirements. Not to be like Permit Patty, but I just find it kind of ironic, you know. It's like posted there, no alcoholic beverages on the beach. And then there's like this like YouTube video about some woman getting beaten for drinking a beer on the beach like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, when I go to the beach, like half the people are drinking beer. Like, what is the deal with that? Alright, knight f6. I'm about to lose on time. What a strange world we live in. Strange and inconsistent. You want my pawn. Right. I can't have everything. Why should anyone go to the beach sober? Good point. Man. About to lose on time. Man, dude, check out Asterbait. I think he's taking me out here. Ooh, this is getting crazy. What is going on, man? Leave me alone. Asterbait is playing like Kasparov, dude. Kasparov, dude. Exacerbate. He's got 4 minutes left. He's dragging me around. I'm like paralyzed. He's so fast, too. Exacerbate. Queen almost trapped. It's a good thing I don't have lag, because I'd be done. I missed bishop g5 there. Dude is just ripping me apart. Missed bishop g5, that's just tragical. The real problem is the time. Like, where did my time go? Talking about turtle. Somehow the material's still about equal. King is still not safe. Merle Dixon donated 100 for Acerbate. Just for this game. Now we got him on the run. Got a little low on time there. Too much material now. 3 pieces for a rook and 2 pawns. 3 pawns. It's a lot of material. I drop a piece if I do that? Alright. Keeps coming up with threats all the time, and the moves are quick. Knight's almost trapped. I swear you're crazy with the quick moves. I have to lose another pawn. Oh, yes. More stuff. Stuff is good. Get that A pawn going. Well, it's a B pawn. Whatever it is. Man, I had my fun in this game. Whew, we were like getting made. Acerbate uncharacteristically resigned prematurely here. He doesn't usually like to give up till it's really over. Had me pulling my hair out, man. I need to brush my hair or something. That was a tough one. Wow, I'm just lucky to be alive. All right. Steel Knight, good to see you. What's up, guys? Yes, occasionally we get people who haven't been in the stream, you know, in a long time. This is iced tea. I like this iced tea. Ruthless. No, man. Was I lost? I mean, I had the feeling I was lost here, guys. Let's be truthful. I won a piece with King D2 in the opening. Look at this. This is crazy. It's totally Soltigo. He finds a way to get play somehow. The computer's actually saying he's got compensation for half a piece. So he makes the best move. Not bishop h6, which actually I was recommending. All that would have done was basically traded pieces, like bishop h6, check, king d3, bishop takes c1. Trading pieces doesn't help him here, you know, so he's doing the right thing, playing castles queenside. I take the piece. And now he's got, what, like 2 pawns for a piece. And my king is unstable, so I guess with computer perfect moves, the computer says I'm better by 2. But Asterbait was winning a little bit later on. Wait a minute, I skipped ahead, sorry guys. So let's see, Asterbait had me on the ropes after the next series of moves. Queen takes c5, played queen e2. Everything was okay until this move. And here I did what? Bishop b2. I could have played king d1, which I mentioned was an escape square for my king. Instead I played this, which seemed like a logical move at the time, but it looks like I have too many problems with f2 and him coming here. So I don't know what the point is there, really. I mean, what's... Oh, I see. The point is that I can play bishop e3. So bishop e2 was a really big mistake because I need that bishop to come to e3 to cover the e-file, guard f2, and stop that nonsense. Once I play this, I lose a lot of my edge. Plays this. Bishop e3 wasting time. Bishop f4 check, king d1. Now it was apparently good for me still. Snapped a pawn. What happened? I didn't see that this piece is hanging. I was down to 9 seconds and I freaked out. I just thought I was going to lose to queen takes g2. Something like that, so I didn't even see he's dropping a piece. But he had a stronger move. Instead of bishop f4 check, he could just play rook h e8 with a strong position. But let's see where he was winning. He's actually winning here. Knight g4, excellent move. I played only move. Yeah, so here he misses the computer move, rook e3. Okay, I mean, it may seem easy, but until you become like, you know, I mean, this kind of move for Mamedyarov, it's easy. But, you know, in a Blitz game, you're an amateur. Rook e3, it looks like a weird move. You know, you're getting in the way of the other pieces. Man. This was the only move. He missed rook e3. That's his only lights out move in the game, actually. Then there's some moments where he was slightly better again. He's better here, but it's not over. Rook e3 was the only moment of overness, which was a hard move to find, to be fair. White did make tons of mistakes. Another mistake here, bishop g5 could have won. But I had 10 seconds. Asterbait is getting closer and closer. Well, I mean, I would have seen f4 hanging too, but I was a little bit not well concentrated. Okay. So, next subscriber challenger is Chestosterone 7+3. Guys, on Friday I'm hosting a stream when I take all the challengers in order. You don't have to be a subscriber on Fridays. I'm taking subscribers first here. I mean, 99 out of 100 times I see his bishops hanging on f4. But I was like totally freaking out at that point. Okay, let's go. Not to make excuses, but I made an excuse, you know. It happens. I lost my turtle today. I'm a little bit disturbed. Where's Nefedov? He's the one who's always criticizing me for making excuses. He's not here. Okay, guys. Alright, next time anybody plays e4, we're going to play the Nimzovich defense. Okay? That's Ponda. Being a regular without subscribing is a shame. It is a shame. It's a shame. Testosterone. Alright, we need to play something unusual. H4 isn't... That's too... Sorry, Panda. That's no. Play E4, then we'll play something fun on the next move against Turkey. Turkey, man. Turkey farmer. Looks extremely difficult to find King D1. Well, yeah, I'm like getting out of the range of his pieces with King D1. I mean, it's a normal move in like some crazy lines of the King's Gambit. I'm not used to playing with my king in the middle of the board like that. You know, I thought, okay, it'll be easy. I win a piece. Haha, this game's over. You know, and it wasn't. It was a lot more complicated than I really bargained for, basically. Black is playing G6. I don't normally play like totally irrational positions like that. Not really my strength, let's say. I'm more systematic, gradual accumulation of advantages style player. So against G6, okay, if something is that hyper modern, it's difficult to play an unusual system against an ultra hyper modern move like G6. What am I supposed to do? I've done H4 in the past. I could do some silly move here. The goal of today's stream is to play unusual systems. But I mean, against G6, it's hard when there's no, you know, there's nothing to really like work on. I mean, okay, let's just play like Bishop C4, totally random move, attacking F7, beginner style, legal mate idea. H4, yeah, we've done H4. That's Shirazi. We've done that before. I mean, it's not a new idea. We could try to do like a legal's mate type of attack here. Modified Nakamura. Queen H5. And now to try to play, you know, make it something real. You could still play H4. Ponda is in favor of this, but I feel like our development is seriously lagging. Bob's got a point. I mean, $5 isn't what it used to be. I realize this. Inflation in the United States is out of control. I mean, it may not be as bad in some places, but the inflation here is outrageous. Like, a bag of English muffins cost $5. That's a little excessive, you know? Alright, knight to c6, threatening knight e5. So, we've got to make some kind of sensible move. Developing moves are preferred. Knight c6, d3. I don't mind d3. I don't mind like bishop b3. I guess queen g3. Oh, queen g3, d5 does disturb me a little bit. Maybe bishop b3 would be the most sensible. Bob, I really appreciate you guys who subscribe. I don't want to guilt anyone into subscribing, so let's not shame the non-subscribers, Bob. Bishop b3. Alright. Prioritizing, yes. So bishop b3, knight to gd7. We'll just play knight c3 or sort of just d3. Developing my pizzas. Welcome everyone to my stream, guys. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sundays at the moment during the summer. Mondays, Tuesdays. Tuesdays we have the viewer tournament. Tomorrow we're going to play 4:30 p.m. EDT. We're going to do a 5+2 Blitz. Soltigo feels all the subscribers should be sub tier 3. Exactly. Exactly, Bob. We could shame you into being a tier 3 subscriber. Alright. Castles. Now h4. Ponda calling for h4. I'm just going to develop. I'm going to keep my options open. We could castle either way. This is Soltigo's specialty. I'm learning from Soltigo, our moderator. I did think about a middle game series where I did a little bit of this on chesslecture.com, where I did discuss, like, in one series, the idea of how to create imbalance to increase your winning chances in chess. And Soltigo, our moderator, is a guy who's kind of obsessed with not castling. And I think that anytime you play a game where you don't castle, or you keep the option to castle open for a long time, that's like one of the ways you can create imbalance in the game. And it's a useful tool. Now, Testosterone, this is an extremely aggressive move by him, but it's cutting both ways. It's very risky as well. It's possibly, like, you know, beneficial for black. He's also risking the safety of his own king along the a2 g8 diagonal. So I don't know whether to label this a good move, a bad move, a risky move, or an interesting move. Okay, moving onward. Time is money. Still very strongly interested in playing h4. Playing pawn to says. If we play pawn to says, though, like h4, pawn takes e4, queen takes e4, d5, I have the sudden feeling that my queen is dreadfully short of squares. So that's a bother. I don't like my queen being that short of squares. Maybe queen h3, idea bishop h6. I'm wasting all my time, using all my time up again. Alright, let's try it. It's one idea, to try to play for bishop h6. I think h4, I didn't like pawn takes pawn, queen takes e4, d5. I just didn't like it. I didn't see a good place to put the queen there. In that line, looked concretely problematic. This isn't really a legitimate opening I'm playing. This is about as far afield from sound systems that I would play. But I'm wasting time moving the same piece twice. My justification, this bishop's having a hard time against my queen because my bishop's keeping him busy on that diagonal. He can't open up and move the e-pawn forward to attack my queen until he can clear this guy out. And in the meantime, I'm threatening bishop h6, getting rid of that nasty diagonal bishop. And we're still keeping the option to castle both sides on the table here. Is that Arsenal? Arsenal. Oh, I thought you were talking about adults. Impressionable and materialistic. Oh, I killed myself. But, yeah. Okay, d5. Do you want to give up your strong point here or not? Why am I getting these messages from move 11? Like I have two windows open or something. That's weird. Okay, move 11 semi-analysis stream game. Something from Testosterone. What is going on? Why are you guys sending me games now? Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, knight f4 is interessante. If d4, I have an issue because like there's no place to put my knight, no good place to put my knight really. What would Spassky do? Be like f3. Take, knight f4. Man, that almost wins a pawn. But again, we're talking about materialism. Shall I take or not? Even knight takes is possible. I don't really want to open up the position. I'm concerned about d4 here. Because my knight doesn't have a good place to go. Once again, we could reference Spassky. Some kind of crawling out with like f2. If he does play, you know, d4, we get the diagonal open. No one has become a tier 3 subscriber yet. Yeah, I mean it's true. Even in the street, I used to play Blitz games for $3 a game, and that's an old school price from like 15 years ago. So now it would probably be like $5 a game, just to play you like a Blitz game in the cafe or something like that. I would probably charge $5 a game to play random comers like a Blitz game in a chess cafe somewhere. So I think it's a good deal too, Bob. I agree. Not to, you know, sell myself. I don't sell myself that much, but I do agree that it's a good value. The subscription is a good value for the amount that you learn, and you support the stream in doing that. Okay, guys, bishop h6. So I played a really weird, just to prove that you can play this way. You know, like bishop c4, queen f3, against anything. Sell myself for money, but business is slow. Demand is slow. Money is short. Money is hard to come by. Don't blame yourself, Arsenal. Now what? Testosterone. Tough. He's a tough turkey. I don't like my queen right now, where it's at again. I don't like where it's at. Maybe we need to move it again. Yet again. Concerned about c5 right about now. But if he plays f4, I have a problem. Wow. Alright, this is weird. Weird, weird, weird. Things are about to get weirder. Yeah, he hung a pawn. I mean, actually, this move looks really strong. Knight e6, as strange as that was. I'm very, very fortunate. The testosterone pushed a little too fast here. I mean, not the same kind of position as Acerbate, but again, I was on the edge of the precipice in this game. Okay, my queen is still awkwardly placed. It's time to castle. I don't like rook c6 either. I think that you should play f4. Extending the diagonal of the bishop, taking away some squares, and maybe threatening f3 to wreck my king side. That was a very bad call by Testosterone. He missed a couple really strong opportunities to play f4, knight ec6 instead of c5 right away. He had really close to great advantage. What? Chess cafes. Well, if you go to any major urban, obviously cities are urban center, you're gonna find a place. You're likely to find a place where people play chess for money. And in many cases, you might find a master who's basically just taking on everyone, in kind of games like he's just slaughtering everyone for like, a certain amount of money per game. I did this for a living for a time. All right. Knight c7 with another pawn. Resigns. Dorset. Doesn't sound like a major urban center. But if you go to London, I'm sure that you'll find, somewhere like London or Manchester or some major city, you'll find people playing chess for cash. Somewhere or another. All right. Small cities, I'm not guaranteeing that you go down to the city center and find people playing chess for money, but I'm talking about like large cities. Even in Hungary, in Budapest only. All right, let's go. Next game. Not a subscriber. Tamale, not a subscriber. Giadi, not a subscriber to my knowledge. Arsenal fan, not a subscriber. Drockfire, not. Nefedov is. Do you get better or worse as you get older? Well, isn't that how life works? Like, you get older and you know more, but like your faculties start to decline a little bit. My problem isn't my age. My problem is the responsibilities that I have. If I wasn't married, I had no children, and I had like, an endless supply of money, I would be a grandmaster. It's not like 99%. It's like 100%. It's the amount of responsibilities. I don't think the fact that I'm older made me weaker. I think it's the things that came with being older, that made me not improve or even go down in strength. I don't think I've reached the point where like my mental facilities are declining yet. That might be right around the corner. I don't know, but all right, Nefedov, unusual opening. I'm supposed to play this is for Spectacular Camel. Just like the elitism of junior coaching in this county. Teaching kids is hard work. But I think that any kind of sports, for kids can be really elitism, a lot of elitism and stuff like that. Any kind of associations. It's not Wednesday. We're doing it on Monday. There is no Wednesday stream, Nefedov. And I chose today because Saul actually made a small donation to the stream the other day. He said, why not have a weird opening stream on a different day? So I'm going to try f6 right away. I don't know, if like bishop f5 or f6 is better. Traditionally, like it seems like bishop f5 is more common. But I have a former student, a master from Boston, Chris Williams, who has played the Nimzovich a lot, or used to. Chris was like 23-something USCF. He played this a lot, f6 with success. And looking at this with Spectacular Camel, f6 looks pretty legit, actually. But I think we're going to play bishop f5. I would say we're probably going to play bishop f5 in many cases anyway. Here we have the additional option to play pawn takes pawn. Knight f3. The main move is f4 for white there. So knight f3. I don't really want to give up my white square bishop for nothing, but bishop g4 is in fact an option. Could also simply take on e5. Takes on e5, and then what? Okay, let's try it. So you're saying that f6 is recommended by Wisniewski. That's not his only recommendation, right? Is donating $5 to me considered being a 1-month sub? No. No, it's a separate thing. Doesn't everyone have Amazon Prime these days? Well, I mean, I don't know how it works, Bob, for people in Europe. I mean, I don't think that all countries in Europe can be like Amazon subscribers. I'm really not sure about Hungary. I think it has to do with like individual like governments and stuff. I don't know if you can be an Amazon subscriber in Hungary or not. Maybe we can find out from one of our. Yeah, like you can't be Amazon Prime. Like, okay, in the United States, Amazon Prime is very common, and we could have a philosophical discussion about whether that's good or not. But so I decided to do it this way. Amazon has basically put every small business in the United States out of business. But other than that, it's great. You know, it's very convenient to be able to get any product delivered to your house. Gazim, good to see you. Yeah, a donation is a donation directly to me. The subscription is something that goes to Twitch. I get part of the money. Twitch gets part of the money. You become an official subscriber on the Twitch stream. D takes E5. I decided to do it this way. What's up now? Well, Mark already did any of these. True, Bob. I mean, we could have a philosophical discussion, as I said. I mean, if it wasn't Amazon, it would be someone else. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, maybe that's like, whatever it is, evolution of, or, you know, natural selection, economic natural selection or something. But it is kind of sort of scary. But I don't think that a lot of people, not everybody, is an Amazon Prime subscriber. No. A lot of people might not believe in it, you know, philosophically. What am I supposed to do? I'm stalling here. I don't know. Knight H6? No. Bishop F5, maybe. E6, maybe. G6, maybe. G6, E6, Bishop F5. Bishop F5 is kind of weird. Even C6, like Carol Khan. I have my doubts about this move, but I like the fact that I can play Knight H6 and Knight F7, or maybe Knight H6, Knight F5, and I keep my other options open. Guys, tomorrow 5+2 casual Blitz tournament. Make sure you have 20 games of Blitz played. I think I'll make it like 30, just to mess up the computer accounts that are created, just to get that 20 games in. Have 30 games ready for tomorrow's 5+2 casual Blitz tournament, guys. If you don't have 30 games, you want to play tomorrow 4:30 EDT in our Blitz tournament, have 30 games in your Blitz account. So I could go to your public Amazon list and buy you something because we're both Prime. Astrobate, I don't know. I never thought about that. It's kind of scary. But I did see an article somewhere where they were criticizing. There was an editorial I read that like basically Amazon Prime should be free for everyone, because states have donated so much money, so much money. Individual states supporting infrastructure that makes it possible. They give breaks to Amazon for doing Amazon Prime. That basically the argument was that like Amazon Prime should be like a service available to everyone, because so much tax money has gone into making Amazon Prime what it is. Do you think it's normal to worry about finding your plateau and facing opponents of a new rating class? You're overthinking it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I got a limited time emote. Move 11's cheer, you got this emote, yellow footy. Alright, thank you, Move 11, 507 bit donation. Maybe Knight H6 first. I don't know how our hero, Move 11, thanks so much for donating 507 bits. You guys can cheer any amount to get football emotes. Final Four of the World Cup. Knight H6. Now what? Bishop g7. Kind of like bishop g7 because it keeps him guessing. Not really going to take your pawn, don't worry. I'm just going to castle. The best strategy against Nefedov is keep it vague, keep him guessing. Don't let him really like have a good feel for the position, the clear position he's played before. Merrill Dixon, very practical. He donated one to get the football emotes. Man, a little slow today. Lost my turtle, for those of you that don't know. Turtle passed away. I buried him right before the stream. Large turtle. Now, he's sort of saved the tempo here, but for himself, trading like on h6 after I went and spent a tempo on bishop g7. What do we got for Western teams in the Football World Cup left? France is still alive, right? I'm not in Hungary, Tamler. I'm in the United States. I go back and forth between the two. Wait, is France out? I realize Russia, Croatia are in. Queen f3 preventing me from castling. What's he threatening with that though? He's like threatening nothing. Right, okay, but the question was, Bob was saying West versus East, and because I'm American by birth, and Nefedov is from, I guess, the former Soviet Union by birth, and, you know, he was kind of making this West versus East. So I was saying, it's kind of like the old chess, West versus East, like Fischer versus the Soviets. I was thinking, what Western teams are still in it? So, Belgium's still in it, and France is still in it. Those are the only Western teams remaining, right? We want to call that Western Europe, that's the West. I guess I would root for France in like amongst the remaining teams. England and the United States, the Netherlands, all these good teams that didn't make it. Okay. So National Potzer was like, okay, Colombia and Brazil if you want the real West. Okay. So the new world. From the new world, we have just Colombia and Brazil. In other words. Good point. I didn't realize that Colombia was still in. I'm not that attuned to the standings. I just know what I hear in the news. Okay, I'm playing Queen d7. I'm trying to get Queen g4. h4. Hey, Nefedov, you're going down, but I'm proud of you, man, for h4. Nice move. He just wanted to see. Just wanted to see that h4 in there. h5, actually. h5 has to be handled with kid gloves. See, here's where you have to be very careful. Just keep an open mind. G takes h is bad. g5 is debatable. But I'm thinking maybe rook f8, maybe rook g8. Just keep it, be safe. So there's 8 teams. How many teams are left? Spectacular Camel play. He wasn't trolling, but he's been banned because of his name. Obviously, Bob. We have to have some. We have to have some decency here, Bob. Spectacular Camel, thanks for the donation. h5 is a little bit too much. I like, notice how his knight is out of play? Like, what's it going to do from there? It's going to go to a3. And I've killed its d2 square. We've been planning this. This was in the works. This has been in the works for a while. I thought he should maybe go queen h2 there, to be perfectly honest. But that's going chaos style, huh? Okay, nice friendly endgame. We're better. More wholesome structure. The 5-pawn island. 2 bishops. Centralized king. Played for the panda. Yeah, he's playing. You know, they say playing for the gallery. Nefedov started to play for the panda. That's what I think. Seriously. Maybe Nefedov's, you know, kids just like the panda, so he started playing for the panda. Castle's queenside, not a ridiculous move. Would worsen my structure. This is kind of risky. Please don't trap my bishop. Please don't trap my bishop. Please don't trap my bishop. Okay. Creating imbalance. I'm not sure this is the right thing to do. Now knight a3. He's found a square. Maybe a couple of them. Yeah, that d4 square looks pretty nasty, actually. I probably should have thought of that already. Man. This is a pretty good game. Nefedov's very short of time. Squadra, what's up? Good to see you on the stream here. Bishop e3 check. King h2, unfortunately. Bishop f4 check, he just goes back. Although that might be a good, useful conclusion. I'll drop a piece there. Let's not, and I don't know, the check. Yeah, let's. Am I going to lose a tempo with this later on? Just not sure. We have check. We have bishop f4 check, and then king h2, rook h8 check, g3. Check. Bishop f4, g3, rook h8 check, king g1. That's the problem. And we're dropping a piece there. That's very awkward. Wait. Bishop f4 check, g3, rook h8 check, king g1. That's really funny. Strange. It's almost like I'm having hallucination. Does this work? He should have played king g1. I tricked him. Probably here I tricked him. I mean, a bishop h3. So I win the exchange. Talked him into going there. And it was all an elaborate bluff. Now Nefedov just falls apart. Okay, he played for the panda. PG-13. I don't know, Bob. I think it's debatable. You're watching too much. What's it called? Adult Swim. Alright. Bob watches too much Cartoon Network after 8 p.m. Basically. Alright. I've got Move 11. I'm taking subscription people who subscribe to the Twitch stream first. Then we're going to have a few others. Good to see Squadra. He's a new here. Player I know. New here in the stream. I'm playing Move 11. A good friend of mine and regular to the stream, a subscriber. Now, with White, I'm supposed to be playing Unusual Openings today. I got to remember to do that because I get carried away talking about stuff and off topic sometimes. So, Move 11, what can we do? We'll try something with e4. Move 11 exclusively plays Sicilian. What can we do to play something out of the ordinary here that he might not have much experience with? The Portuguese. My friend David Vigorito once played e4, e5, bishop b5, calling it the Portuguese. Good game, Nefedov. Well, I mean, c3 Sicilian is a very standard opening. Let's play knight a3. This went through a brief fashion. I played a couple games with knight a3, probably back around 2006. It was played by Zvygintsev. A3 I've played a lot in the Weird Opening stream. Spectacular Camel. I have used that move pretty often. Yeah, g6 is good. Now you're kind of like, well, I don't know why. You know, the first time I faced this against this guy was like 2200 in the U.S. Open, I think in 2006. Why does that year keep coming up? That's when this started to get popular. I don't know why I didn't play g6 when I encountered this, because I played the accelerated dragon a lot. I think the thing was, like, at that time in 2006, I wasn't playing a lot of accelerated dragons. I think I played like knight c6 on move 2, or maybe even e6 when I faced it. Well, I'm just going to play knight f3 and then decide. I think c3. Yeah, it wasn't a new in chess SOS. Yeah, we're talking 12 years ago, Spectacular Camel. It could have been 2007 at the latest. I don't remember exactly when. But we can also transpose to some kind of c3 Sicilian now. Who else was using this? Kind of a useful line for a player who, let's say, plays the c3 Sicilian. Maybe you can use it interchangeably. Portuguese. I mentioned the Portuguese. What do you mean? Knight a3, you're trying to say Nefedov. Yeah, it's Vagansev. But I mean, he was the one who popularized it. I'm not sure if he was the originator. Vagansev I met and played with. He was a student, a very, very top student, maybe the top student of Dvoretsky at one point. He and Dvoretsky came to my friend's house, and we played with them in a Blitz tournament. I think I lost 1.5 against Vagansev, and then split my games with Dvoretsky. Is this 5-0 Blitz? So actually, move 11 here, playing d5, this transposes to a straight-up line of the c3 Sicilian, which move 11, as far as I know, doesn't play c3 Sicilian with d5. It's kind of a funny situation. Now, bishop c4, queen e4 check, king f1. We'll see if we can go for that. The other possibility is just simply like knight b5. Queen e2 is lame. I think you have to go for the gusto here with king f1. Now move 11 just develops. There was a tournament in Russia where instead of the names, they were used their favorite openings. Okay. So Vagansev had knight a3. That's cool. A good player. For the draw before the first round. Okay. I would be like one knight h6. I hope. Remembered for that. Which I have actually played. I have played knight h6 on the first move in 2 tournament games, and both were draws. One was slow and one was rapid. Fighting games, I assure you. Not boring draws. King f1. Move 11 is trying to get acclimated to the situation. Not really the most rational position in the world. Okay. He evaded the tactic bishop takes f7. That was our big cheapo. Just hoping for knight f6. I've fallen for that when I first played this kind of line with black. So we don't have anything with knight g5, but we do have queen a4. It's kind of a funny move. Queen a4. There's a lot of good moves for white. I mean, queen b3, just developing a piece with a small edge. Even d3 isn't bad. Where is his queen going, you know? f5, I presume. I mean, it wouldn't be absurd to play like d4. But queen a4 check, I'm thinking, what here? Like knight d7, knight g5. That's not so great for white. just trade. He just trades on... No, so queen a4 check feels kind of artificial. I mean, d3 is a move. Bishop e5 check is a move. Bishop takes e6 is a move. Queen b3 is a move. But let's go a step further. You know, let's say we play d3 and then he plays queen f5. What's our next move? Maybe knight b5. Maybe he has a problem defending c7, for example. He's going to have to play knight a6, which is rather inconvenient. If I can force him to play knight a6, I'd like that. So he does have bishop takes c4, then knight takes c4. That's actually not so bad for black. d6, bishop takes c4, knight takes c4, move the queen back somewhere. Is black even much worse? How about queen b3? Bishop takes c4 again, with these annoying checks. Queen a4 check again. There's also bishop b5 check. Why not that? Then he goes back with bishop d7. So there's no easy solution. It appears that black is okay here. Bishop b6 is not a bad move. Queen b3 is bishop takes c4, then I have to like take with the queen. I mean, I could allow a check on d3 and then put my king on g1. Probably not that bad, for example. Queen b3, bishop takes c4, knight takes c4, queen d3 check, king g1, black to move. I don't know. Alright, I'm running out of time and I didn't find anything really good. There is a check now, but then b5. So we've got a little more development. Black has the bishop developed. This counts as a developed piece. He's 2 moves away from castling. And, you know, he has a strong c5 pawn. You could argue his center is stronger than mine. He has a pawn on the 4th rank in the center. I have only d3. So I feel like my development advantage is a fleeting advantage. It's a dynamic advantage that can evaporate very quickly here. Perfect move. We have only the tiniest of edges. Keeping an eye on e7 might be useful. We have a guy who's probably not afraid to castle queenside if you push him to that. He's been known to castle queenside in the c3 Sicilian, as far as I recall. Bishop somewhere. He's going to put pressure on my d3 pawn, which I don't really like. So it feels like he's got a good game. This is kind of like the lame move alert. Lame move alert. Oh, he took. Maybe that's good though. I thought this is good for me, but I'm not so sure. Now I have to defend this pawn or push it. Maybe I should push it. Push it. Sack it for pawn structural destruction. This is a little bit sketchy. Play e6 to sack a pawn, break up a structure. Probably not bad. And I'm thinking my king on e2 is going to be extremely well placed in that sort of position where, say, he has doubled e pawns. We could just play e7, I mean e6. Bishop f4. Now it's still an idea to play bishop f4. Black has b5, basically winning a pawn. Then I have h3. And it's like weird. Bishop f4, b5, h3, knight takes f2. for example. So I say, have it your way at Burger King. I'd rather he have a pawn, you know, an extra pawn, but move 11 is a strong player, relatively speaking. I'd rather have him have a bad extra pawn than a good extra pawn. I don't know if this is really good enough for me to have an advantage, but the king is going to be happy here. Okay, so the key idea is, let's see, h3 maybe. If he plays f6, he has no knight f6 back. Now he played this so safe move. Say safe move. We're gonna be an itty bit better. This is basically a draw. We have a theoretical advantage here. I'll take it. Test his technique. What should be a drawn position? I played c3, he's played c5. We have the better structure by a very small margin, but it's not very fun. Pretty boring position. Well, yeah, this is, yeah, whatever. King e2. Bishop e3. And problems perhaps begin to exist for black. Or a problem exists. Can't be giving me any pawns. Yeah, that's interesting. The Feingold reference from Arsenal fan, you did mention that recently. Burger King, yeah, my least favorite fast food restaurant. Okay, it's pretty gross. Can you explain why c5 is weaker than c3? Well, I'm not sure it's like the c5 itself, but it seems like it weakens the black position worse or something. It's further advanced. Difficult to explain with like 1 minute on the clock. I don't know if I could explain it that well at all. We're a little better. Extreme pet tricks. a5, wow. What a committal and reasonable move, really. If I could cross the river. If I could only cross the river with my rook. Accelerated Dragon, we're always doing like rook a6, rook b6. I'd love to do that, but it just... I'm going to bottle up my own rook. He could just guard with rook d6, probably. Speaking of rook d6. If rook d3, c4 might be a good move. That bothers me. Darn it. Again, it might not. 2 for 1 sale. Man, I'm about to flag. Go ahead and play c4. Look, ma, no weaknesses. Oh, this is going to be a doozy. Spassky-esque. He could have tried to take the pawn on h2. I don't know about that. His king is active. But my king. Gotta like that move. About to lose on time. excellent move, the king e6. He's faster than me. Rook h8 now. Takes the pawn. Bishop takes b2, rook b1. Please don't have anything. What is this, a draw by rep? I have f3. That's not good. Fortunately, f3 allows them to play rook h2. This is objectively a draw. Good game, move 11. Final position is dead equal. Despite the fact that he has so many pawns on the wrong color, it's just too much of a rock. Can't get through. His bad bishop outside the pawn chain there on e5 is pretty good. Pretty good active bad b. So I think you'll see this is probably our lowest center pawn loss game of the games that I played today. Looks like a pretty well played game, I would suspect, by both sides to have very few mistakes here. Let's see how flat it is. Some mistake was made early on. Computer didn't like that I gave that pawn up. You know, it's being a little materialistic there. But it gave us 23, 24. Okay. I made no mistakes, no blunders. He made one mistake. And inaccuracies. That was our first place game. You didn't lose. Wow, congratulations, move 11. Just because of the donation you made today, I decided to let you have a draw. No, just kidding. Seriously, good game. You deserved it. But thanks for the donation as well. So guys, we're going to go back to these other guys. What time is it now? 6 o'clock. I started the stream at 4:30. We have another hour to go. So plenty of time to play. Unusual openings. Okay. Wubba dubba lub lub. I'm going to go out on a limb and play literally knight h3. I thought anytime I play rook takes d6, he's doing that like take with the pawn thing. Actually, that was my problem with that line. I played some crazy blitz games here with like c4. Rapport would like this. But we're going to stick with g3. A little bit sounder. It's more fun to play this with black. I'll try to play a knight h6 with black if I can. My so-called 3 a.m. variation. Is red wine a typical sauce for pork chops? I would think not, Bob. I would think that's strange. You got to go with the white wine with the pork chop. The other white meat, remember that campaign, Bob? That's my opinion. Soltigo is more of an expert than me as far as cooking, but I would definitely go with the white wine. I would think red wine is very strange for pork. He doesn't think it's odd. When your approach becomes someone's coach, are there? I thought you wrote, are there goats primarily? Are their goals primarily just to increase their rating? You know, everyone's different, Mr. Coffee. Some people are just seeking, you know, a strong player to bounce ideas off. Some people are really goal-oriented, really rating-oriented. Sounds like a cop-out, but it's true. I mean, everybody's different. Interesting situation. So d5. Yeah, I really like it when they play e5 against knight h3. This is kind of boring. We can have some kind of symmetrical d4, d5. I can wait with like bishop g2, I guess. Try to play a Scandinavian kind of thing with colors reversed if he plays e5. But if he doesn't play e5, it becomes difficult. My friend Salansi Emil, he would play like knight h6 in the Benoni sometimes. We could get that kind of thing. But now we can play one of my patented unsound variations. Okay, I'm happy to see e4 though. When you play e4, now we're going into more of a, well, I would call this modern defense, like Gurgenidze but now also English. If I play c4, it's basically in English. Similarities to the Caro-Kann, but I haven't played c3, so I have more flexibility with my pawns. c4 is reasonable here. If he takes, what are we doing? We're just developing with like knight c3. We could play it. Let's try it. This seems like the most dynamic move to me. I like my students to care, to be very, serious about learning and about the game, and to love chess. I think to really love the game. Like, the worst moment in my life as a coach was when I was teaching this little kid. His parents were very wealthy. They were like, I don't know, high-level corporate people. And the kid, he was sort of interested in chess, but not really very much. And I would travel a distance to go to do lessons with him. And at one point, I realized he was like watching the clock instead of, that was the moment where I was just like, I'm not going to teach this kid anymore. I just said to the parents, I'm not going to do it anymore. Your son just isn't that interested. So it's not just about money. I mean, I want people to actually care. Knight g4 is a very strange move. Double leaving the center. He's not supporting his center. Actually, knight g4 though, what are you doing? You're attacking f2? I mean, I'm actually protecting that. So this is a strange move. Black's, my center is, I'm destroying his center. My center is. No, I'm just undermining his center successfully. That was my plan. I'm executing. GG. Okay, Bob, that's another thing I like, but that's not very often possible. Willingness to learn, being open-minded, people who listen. I've had trouble with some people, not that many fortunately, who are very pig-headed and stubborn. And obviously the older you get, the harder it is to learn, the more stuck you are in your ways. Fortunately, I think that's not really that much of a problem until like maybe after 50 or something like that. People are still flexible, fairly flexible. I'm not on the other side of 50, so I don't know. Hopefully even after that point we can learn. Just as a bouncing point, I'm saying 50. People that start to get older, they find it hard to change the way they think. Obviously, it doesn't have to only depend about age, but people that are willing to listen and they're willing to change their way of thinking, I think that's best. And he's talking about measurements. Tamalier, women's body measurements. Bob is not very politically correct. All right, double. See, this was his first misconception, that there was a weakness at f2. The first moment of playing knight g4 showed that. When he did that move, I was like, wait a minute, what are you attacking? There's no weakness at f2. The entire move knight g4 was wrong. So Soltigo says, have only used cooking wine, not even sure if you can use any regular wine. I've used wine, Bob. Like cooking wine and real, like regular wine. I never really thought it was a problem. But I don't cook that much pork. I agree. I would say you definitely use, regular dry white wine for cooking pork. I wouldn't do the red wine with pork though. That's weird for me. Wine like you wouldn't eat with that meat, to me seems strange to cook with. Probably. You'd normally drink white wine with pork, I would think, Okay, we're off subject. Cooking though, making me hungry. The problem is Soltigo eats before the stream, our moderator, and I eat after the stream, and it's very painful for me to have these conversations about food and stuff. I put on 5 pounds since I came back a month ago, or 5 weeks ago from Hungary. I was at my ideal weight for my best weight for the last like 25 years, 20 years at least, till I came back. And I put, I guess, we used some rosé there, Bob. I'm not an expert. I'm just a great amateur. I put on 5 pounds, man, in 5 weeks. I'm gaining a pound a week. Not good. I was looking really good. Not really looking good, but I was feeling really good about myself. To have the lightest weight I've had since 1999, I mean, that's pretty good. I was psyched. Let's castle. Got all of our pieces developed. Black has no center. Soltigo's like, I put on 90 pounds since my operation. What? When were you operated on? It depends. If you were like anorexic when you had your operation, then I guess that's normal. Or even okay. This all depends, right? The answer is always it depends. Single digit body fat. I'm definitely not there. Relying on the metabolism. Soltigo's bionic. Okay, I'm just taking your bishop. We're up a pawn. We got the strong center. Everything's rolling. We're coordinated. You guys just want to play knight h3 on move 1. It's easy. I think the critical test would have been d takes c. When I played c4, Wubba Dubba Lub Lub should probably call my bluff there and play d takes c. Nefedov said he put on 20 kilograms after he got married. Doesn't everybody? Man, don't want to think about the extra weight. I was doing pretty good though for a while. Pretty well. All right, we're fully developed, winning position strategically. Black has no development. I have the bishop pair. I have a strong center. He weakened his king side with f5. Nefedov should enter that. Where is it they have the like carry your wife contest or whatever? Which country is that? To like pick up your wife and carry them. All right. Rolling with the pawns. Not America, that's for sure, Bob. That was the most striking thing when I went to Hungary in the late 90s. There were no fat people under the age of like 50, you know. Now that's not the case anymore. They have McDonald's. I'm sure this was the case anywhere in like former Soviet Union and Eastern Europe and Central Europe. But now it's like totally different. 20 years later, there's a lot of fat people everywhere, you know. We've Americanized the world. McDonald's. Okay, guys, this is really just strategically dead for black. I can just start taking material. This pass pawn is a crusher. I've got 2 connected pass pawns. Once I snap this off on c7, it's game over. You hear England is fat like the US now. I mean, most of the world is, probably. The exception is the question. Where are the exceptions? Very few and far between. Impoverished countries, only impoverished countries. Bishop takes c7, and even that not always the case, because a lot of fast food is very readily available. Japan is an exception. All right, guys, we're pretty off topic. We've got 45 minutes left in the stream today. I've got challenges from Tamale, Arsenal Fan, and Dracofire. But these central pawns are game over, man. Okay. Wubba dub dub dub. 3 men in a tub going down. But he immediately did it to himself with knight g4 in the opening. This was very bad. I'm going to say it. I say it all the time. I'm going to say it again. Development, control the center, king safety. Development, control the center, king safety. Development, control of the center, king safety, and h4. Or h5. Actually, Panda would have played h5, wub lub lub lub. H5 would be a better move than knight g4, and actually probably like reasonable. Particularly interesting, specifically against the move knight h3, because I don't have the ability to play h3 or h4 there. I almost hung my queen. Would be an interesting sacrifice. Thousands of hours of study and preparation. Just adhere to my principles and you will win games. But I'm serious, like, material is not in the top 3, I believe. People are way too materialistic. Almost across the board. Whenever I analyze with Stockfish, the materialistic line is like 2nd or 3rd. You know, it's always... Computers took a huge leap. Chess computer programs took a huge leap when they started moving away from being overly materialistic. I mean, their original materialistic... Okay, AI is another story. AI will change, and it's already changed the way the top chess engines will play. But probably because the AI, you know, it doesn't have this materialistic concept at all. You know, I need an unusual opening here. Hard to do against knight f3. We'll play b5. A pawn is a pawn, but what does that tell us? Pawns are pawns. But they're still not more important than those 3 fundamentals that I just told you about. You've got to adhere to those rules. G3, this is a solid response. Half asleep. Blah, 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 blah. Please come on Friday. I don't know if you were here on Friday. I can't remember that far back, but it was only a couple days ago. We're trying to do the Fridays regularly at 10 a.m. I reserve the right to change it. But for the most part, we're going to try to do Fridays, or at least one stream a week in the morning to accommodate the European guys and girls. Okay, so c5. All right, maybe I'll hold off on c5. Try to adhere to my own principles here. Develop the pieces. Can do without c5 for now. I mean, c5 does control the center. But it's not necessarily something I have to do immediately. He said, usually like this time, but today, oh, you had a 6-hour technical job interview. Yuck. Okay, now we have issues. Tamale made the decision to play the King's Indian attack. Now, I had this position with white against Grandmaster Gelashvili, I think, and I was pretty upset. I don't know why. I was tired. Speaking of wub-dub-lub-lub. Against Gelashvili, I decided to play d3 like you, and then I horribly misplayed the position after that. But another very good system for white here is to play d4. I think d4, maybe c3, but probably bishop g5 at some point, and just play like that. It's a very good system. Bishop g5, knight d2, trade the bishop off if necessary. Really like d4. I would do that if I had a second chance against Gelashvili. But d3 is just standard King's Indian reversed. It's fine if you play it properly, unlike me. Arsenal fan. I did not look at the game you sent me. I've been crazy out of my head doing stuff. I'm supposed to send in a lichess analysis that I forgot about too. So I'm going to do that after the stream. I will take a look at the game you sent me after the stream as well. Tonight. Bishop g5. Now, I was working when you sent me that game, Arsenal, and since then I've been pretty busy. Bishop g5, bishop e7, or d6. Bishop g5 now, I don't think that fits anymore. I like bishop g5 with d4 like a Tory attack, but I don't like it in the hedgehog scenario. Check out the scenario. What is that? Tribe Called Quest? Does anybody know that? Old school music? Well, it's not that I don't want to look at the games by Potzers. It's just that sometimes I have a lot of stuff I have to do this particular week. I'm, like, overloaded. If it had been next week, it might be completely different. Maybe I'd have time to look at the game when you sent it to me, but I just kind of... Honestly, Arsenal fan, you can also email me, videochesstrainer@gmail.com. The problem with the lichess messages is that they kind of disappear after a while. When something's in my email, I take it more seriously. Knight on BD2. I mean, I want to answer all the messages I get on lichess, but sometimes they just kind of slip through the cracks. And an email rarely slips through the cracks. Bishop E7. Okay, this is weird, the bishop G5. I feel like he's trying to do that because I suggested that for the D4 position. But in the King's Indian formation, this is really like a good bishop for him, so I don't think he should do it. We should really try to take this guy out. But time is an issue. You know, time is time. He's going to get the center here. Staying on E4 to momentarily attempt to stop him from playing D4. If we keep the pressure on this point, you see, he's setting it up very logically. And I can play D5 maybe. There's also E5, making it a Roy Lopez. Let's make it a Roy Lopez, shall we? I don't know. My dark squared bishop is kind of bad. It's a tough call. Let him play D4. He's not going to do any major damage with D4. Let him have it. Let him have D4. Big deal. BFD. Very handsome Australian streamer. Well, thank you, but I'm not Australian. D4. I didn't know you felt that way again about me, Bob. Oh, you're talking about A Tribe Called Quest. You're back on that subject. I forgot. I'm like, very quickly, you know, get off the subject. So, I was talking about Check Out the Scenario. It was one of my favorite songs. Queen C5. I mean, amongst the songs by Tribe Called Quest. So Queen B6. I like that one. I never listen. I can't listen to everything. I try to pay attention to the chess games sometimes. I'm sorry. I try to do my best. We could have Pondo like feeling the questions in the stream while I play. Doing my best Gelashvili imitation here, but it's a totally different position. It's funny, like Tamale, like in midstream, integrated what I was talking about with Bishop G5 into a slightly different position. It's not what I meant, but okay, this almost transposes to basically what I was talking about. Same kind of idea. Please support the guys. Please support the stream, guys. Please, if you can, make it PayPal donations via Twitch stream or YouTube video chess training on YouTube. I can't talk today. A3 kind of a, well, that doesn't look like a particularly big deal. We got the initiative on the queen side with more space, keeping the tension. I'm picturing Will in the 90s in a FUBU. Huh. No. You know what's funny? I didn't listen to Tribe Called Quest in the 90s. I actually started listening to that much later, like around 2000. So like way after they were really popular. I've always been like that with music. I would just find something later. Yeah, that's not me, Bob. But I like their music. Public Enemy was earlier. E5. I have a weakness for like kind of old school rap. But I like all different kinds of music. Just one of many things I like. D takes E5. And while there's no harm in bishop takes g2, I'm not sure it aids my position in any way. So we'll just go rook d8, bearing down on d4. I never really got into 2-pack. Alright, rook on a to d8. I was never that into rap. There were certain rap artists that I liked. That was it, you know. If I hear something I like, then I can listen to it. How do we get on the subject? Just randomly. Onto the subject. So rook on a to d8. Knight f3. cd4. I say bishop c5. Try to keep the tension. Tamali's pretty solid for his rating. He's putting up very solid resistance here. I drank everything, my iced tea, my beer, coffee. I'm down to my water like last resort. Black now has just created this isolated pawn target. So now we kind of change the thinking here. No, like knight d7 might just be a good move. What's wrong with that? Just go knight d7. Maybe it's not enough. It's also passive. If I had more time to think, I'd probably come up with better than knight d7. Tamali playing very well. Well, you know, he's keeping it simple. He's playing solid. He hasn't done anything special, but he's not made any serious mistakes other than allowing the isolation of his d-pawn, which, you know, isn't that easy to not allow some kind of target. I could get far worse than this easily. I was much more trouble against Galishvili, for example. By move 17, I was like done. Turned me over. Put a fork in me. With the white pieces when I played against. In that game, it was knight f3, knight f6, g3, b5. It wasn't like directly knight f3, b5, but we transposed. It was odd because I never played that. I literally like never ever play knight f3, or didn't used to play it. Knight f3, knight f6, I would never play g3 there. I would always play c4. For some reason, I just smelled a rat or something. I was like, why, you know, why me? Why now? All right, so now, yeah, he's playing really well. I regret knight d7. Really regret knight d7. But we're still slightly better. We've got a very small edge. It's microscopical. Fixed his pawn structure for him. Keep him tied down, keep him busy. Don't have much here. Someone suggested b4 earlier. I mean, yeah, I mean at some point. Although I don't really want to trade pawns. I also don't see the advantage in opening up the a file necessarily. I'd rather keep the pawns on the board. Karpov could win this against a lesser grandmaster. Actually, something about it reminds me of Karpov Miles. Obviously b5, but the presence of the two bishops, if you guys know, there's a famous game that a player that was a favorite of mine, Anthony Miles, he was an English grandmaster who I, you know, played and met personally. Miles was renowned for being very creative and also for being one of the few grandmasters who was willing to play extremely unorthodox openings. But he beat Anatoly Karpov in a famous game where he played e4 b5, and that game had some similar kind of characteristics. Karpov got overextended with white, and black had the bishop pair. That was really, I think, those are like the two I would say, main characteristics of the game, in fact. The game in question. Bishop a6, we can just think about that. He's playing... Where is he going on bishop a6? He doesn't have a good square. My goodness. Doesn't seem to have a good square. The bishop tandem very strong. Still not over. Who do you think is more creative? Now he has b2. He found that very, very well. Queen b2. Keeping everything guarded. Amazing stuff. So now what? Just go for maximum pressure. Who's more creative? Well, I mean, Basman goes over the line, you know. Miles is like right on the line and sometimes goes over the line. Like, Basman is just totally always, almost always all over the line. Basman just goes further. He wasn't a strong player in any sense, so it's kind of difficult to say, but, you know. Not to diss Basman, he was like an ordinary master, but I mean, Miles is like just an amazing, he was an amazing genius, but sometimes he just, you know, kind of went too far. How do we beat this guy? It's really, really tough. 15-22, he's hanging like tough as nails. How in the world am I supposed to beat him? It's absolutely brilliant. What am I supposed to do to beat this guy? I have no idea. Bishop g6. Okay, let's try a different approach. Bishop f1a. I don't really want to trade just like that. It's tough, tough. Man. It's ridiculously tough. Have to be Karpov. Literally. Now I'm winning. I could take there. He even typed in, he said time. It's not time. Winning 2 bishops for the rook. I wanted to get my bishop to d5. Or maybe g6 is sensible. Extremely tough game though, based on rating. He's finally lost, but I mean, until the final point when he dropped a piece there. Okay, the engine says I'm really, really good here, +3. I didn't think I was that winning. I really didn't. But I was just playing on feel without that much time left. But apparently it is winning. Okay, guys. We've got 25 minutes left, so that's probably 2 more games I'm going to be able to play. Got Arsenal fan. 2 more games, guys. Okay, that wasn't easy. Arsenal fan. So, I talked about knight h6, but we just did knight h3. Let's try something else. I don't want to play just garbage openings, so I was having fun with knight h3 earlier. Try to play the Alekhine's defense. Very positional game, that last game. Okay, Arsenal fan played knight c3, so I like d5 here. To keep it imbalanced, e5 is the Vienna game. But most people who play e4, knight f6 aren't playing the Alekhine's or Alekhine's defense to play the Vienna game. So, pawn takes pawn. This is a solid, I would say this is a solid line for white. Difficult to get something really fun for black. I've played an experimental line here for a while that I don't know about. Mostly white plays bishop c4 in this position. Okay, d4 is reasonable. A lot of books recommend knight takes c3, I guess, here. Not particularly fun, though. Maybe not right away. I guess I'm supposed to play like g6. Ponda would definitely play h4, our mascot. Hey, you want to play h4? Huh. Ponda loves h4. But Tamil, that was an extremely solid game for white that you played there. I mean, if you could play that way against other people, I would say you're gonna be, yeah. I don't think he was using an engine. Someone is like, whatever. Don't pay attention to people trolling. Just random accusations to gain attention. He didn't have, he has time to do it, man, but he didn't have any tactics like the whole game. I mean, I don't think it's anything about engines. Knight f3. There was really not a very complicated position, to be honest. Pretty simple game. Not that much going on. Black just accumulated a small advantage with the bishop pair, and it was just technique. Now Arsenal takes on d5. I mean, that's kind of a wimpy move. Knight takes d5. But, okay, he wants to play solid, you know. He wants to play a solid game against a higher rated player. Reasonable. I think with this move, you know, he gives up hope of an advantage, but he's still safe and sound. So he can castle. Alright, I just don't appreciate people like making random accusations. Yeah, if there's going to be any accusations of computer cheating, I'll make them. It just detracts from the stream. So bishop d3, c5. I want to break the center, get some counterplay, destroy his center. No, Bob, don't do that, please. It distracts from the stream. It distracts from what I'm trying to do, you know. I don't mind a little bit of fun, you know, a little bit of fun joking around, but to feed into this conspiracy theories and stuff, I've got enough like legitimate cheaters on and off, you know, that takes up energy. I'd rather not, you know, cultivate random accusations. People just do it for attention. There's these people who just think that everybody's a cheater, you know. I mean, that's every game they lose, like the other guy's a computer. I mean, we all have that feeling sometimes. I'm as paranoid as anybody else. Man, this is like ultra solid move. d4. Bishop g4, d takes c5. Bishop takes f3, g takes f3. I'm gonna have trouble getting my pawn back in that position, I think. I tricked you with d5. I didn't trick you. Get out here with your comments. You're distracting me in a tough position. Stop distracting me, Arsenal fan. C takes D, I do have here. I guess that's what I have to play. It's kind of lame, though. It's the C3 Sicilian. This is really solid for white. Ananas? We had a player who was Ananas. Ananas. It was a German player, strong candidate master strength player. Is he on the stream? Or is he around? Or is this a different Ananas? Ananas means pineapple, at least in German. Now, Arsenal fan, I think it's strange that you took back with the pawn there. I mean, why not take with the bishop? If it loses a piece, then you're probably right. Answer your own questions, William. Bishop takes d4, e5. Oh. I guess that's good for me. Then this position is better than I thought. If he has to take back with the pawn, Bob. Bob, don't make strange conspiracy theories. Bishop d3. Just natural development. Perhaps I should consider bishop g4. No, Bob, there was somebody like you or someone else who was like saying that I was, you know, I was dead or something when I did a stream for 10 days. It's like, dude, people constantly make new accounts on lichess. that they disappeared means nothing. I mean, they're probably on their like 10th account in the last 5 years or something. I mean, I thought Ananas was pretty, you know, serious though. But he probably has other things to do. I wasn't playing much chess when I was playing poker between like 2008 and 2000. If seriously, like, I played chess a lot up until 2008. Between 2008 and 2015, I hardly played at all. I was basically MIA from the chess scene. You'd almost never see me playing anywhere. Exactly. So, super solid move, bishop e6. Move 11 would like this. This is very similar to his bishop e6 solution against me. One of the, well, the only draw today, right? It's not a funny joke, Bob. d5, oh my god. Now, I'm going to hope that this is a joke. That's what we've really got to hope. This is the joke here. The scary thing is that it might not be a joke. I've got queen b4 check, bishop d2, queen e4 check. I've got queen b4 check. Uh-huh. Very strange. Got to put the question to him. But, sir, now we have a new idea. It's not simply a repetition of position because I can bring my rock to the center. But he has knight d2. No, that doesn't work. And knight g5 doesn't work. So we have to go rook d8. Life is good. Bob's laughing. Keep laughing, Bob. Almost. Bob's still hurt that he dropped a piece against me in a simul. Alright. Truth hurts. But I did overlook d5 completely, and I'm very fortunate if I'm not lost. Soltigo thinks he preferred rook f8. I was concerned about him sacking the queen, taking on f7. Probably it doesn't matter, to be honest. Because like I'm probably never really giving up my rook on f7. So I don't know what the difference is really. So I think we're splitting hairs between rook fd8 and rook ad8. Look at that attack white has. Where is it? Checkers is no, but I mean, wasn't the serious line a different line on queen b4 check? He had queen d2, and this was my key variation. Bishop takes b2. It's very funny. Queen d2, bishop takes b2, queen takes b4, knight takes b4, rook b1, and I just take on d5. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I'll have a check anyway. So it's strange. Like, There's another line, knight d2. Did anybody think about that? What's happening on knight d2? Now maybe I'm really in trouble. Is knight d2 the end of the line for Master Fugu? What if Arsenal fan had played knight d2? Now I'm seriously smoked. I think that just resigns, right? I mean, you know, like acerbate against me. I might get some compensation for like 2 pawns. Okay, I'm going to get 2 pawns for a piece. But it shouldn't be enough, you know? Someone said queen d2, bishop takes b2, castle. I'm taking his rook, so that should be a problem. What I don't understand is knight d2. Was queen b4 even the right move? I'm going to lose on time now? Alright, well, let's just move. Even grandmasters wear underpants, Bob. I assume. I haven't been one, but... Alright, bishop takes d5. Speaking of underpants, one of the funniest things I ever saw was at the Amateur Team Championship when RIP International Master Victor Frias was like sitting at the table in his boxer shorts. I wasn't sure what was going on with that. Maybe he woke up and he was almost losing on time, had to run to the board in his boxer shorts. Something strange going on there. Only time I've ever seen a player playing in their underwear. Bishop takes d5. It's like a huge tournament filled with like there's like 1,000 players in the room. Frias' team was like winning the tournament. I was second, or our team was second. And then one moment I'm sitting there and like Frias is standing there in his underwear. I don't understand what's going on. I still don't know what the heck was going on with that. Alright, so Arsenal. The Arsenal. Arsenal is a tough customer. Chess customer. He missed rook d1 there. I think that was the best move because on rook d8 he has queen takes f7 check, knight g5 and pick up my queen on e4. Now he's just kind of messing around. Reasonable though. I still like black. Pawn up. Oh, I dropped my a7 pawn. Darn it. He's fast. What'd I say, guys? One last game after this? That's all I've got time for. I'm sorry. You guys. Only one last game. I mean, I know all you guys. Actually, Erdna's new. But trying to sort of tighten the grip on the white queen. The net. Could be a long endgame. Pawn up endgame. I have the initiative here, but it's a simply just pawn up position. Arsenal's hanging tough, as he always does. But there's not too much complication now. You know, I should be able to slowly grind him down without major tricks. Knight g5, knight e4, for example, I didn't like. But then again, it's not an easy win. I mean, I'm only up a pawn on one side, on the king side. And that's, you know, not so easy to use that pawn, let's say. That 4-on-3 on the king side. Not that easy to put into active use. But there we go. We get our king side majority moving. We've got the time edge now. We've got the meats. Alright, that's enough of that. You know, all that rook activity. Let's just make it one rook. Arby's has the meats. We get our pawns rolling. Simple position. I was talking about this. How do we use that, you know, one pawn advantage? We've got it there. Now it's really looking good. Rook d2 with a really strong grip on the position. Arsenal is a very competitive player. Extremely tough. Put up a good fight. Okay, guys, last game for today. No problem, Greeky. Last game for today. I'm going to play Dracofire 5+3. Sorry for the other challenges I can't get to. I got to go after this. Last weird opening game for today. Time is up for today. I'm going to play A3. Okay, so well, Arsenal fan, I think you had me with knight d2. Nice job spiking me with d5. Looks like I just got lucky. Been lucky today not to lose any games. We had a draw with move 11. Now I like bishop g4. Actually, Dracofire's played b4 a lot. Or was it b3? He was playing b4 a lot with white, so he should know what he's doing with black. The Santa Cyr attack. Allowing d5 was not intentional. I really forgot it was not protected enough. I thought I had enough blockade. So how to deal with this bishop g4? It's pretty irritating. I better study up on my Santa Cyr games. Maybe I should play e3 there. Alright, let's be creative. I don't know. You could take either way. I'm going to keep my pawns in a group. It's the buddy system. Keep the buddies together in one group. Okay, this guy is alienated. Segregation of pawns, but I can't make everybody happy. If I take the other way, I'm breaking my pawns into two islands. So I'm gonna have to leave this one pawn to its devices. The problem is that my queen side is kind of weakened. I mean, b4. Not a great move, really. I think I would just have a weakness in my queen side. He can play a5 at any time. If I play e3, he has e5, so I should probably clamp down. Stopping e5. Attempting to do so. Sad to think of them as children. Pawns are the children of chess. No, that's not a quote. I just made that up. So c5, yeah, the inevitable c5. See, c3 isn't really a solution because it weakens my whole structure. Cringing here. And again, I'm facing a player who plays this kind of opening with the white pieces, so he knows something. He knows something of what he does. The open G file compensates a little bit, but if you guys have watched me play against like b3 and b4, I use a system similar to this. I lost my only game in the simul. yesterday, my 25 board Simon, the only one I lost was against S4, who's not here today. It was B3, D5, Knight F3, Bishop G4, and double pawns, and I played like basically the same setup, but G6, Bishop G7. He can still play G6, of course. Ponda is calling for H4, H5. My B4 pawn is simply on priest, so I have to push. I think I have to push here. Best decision under the circumstances. Deep breath. Okay, let's move on. Sorry, Ponda. I have to hold off. I don't know where this is going yet. You know, I might need it to anchor that pawn on b5. Yeah, g2 might be a good move, definitely. f5 an idea, c4 even. Soltigo, you read some Stephen King, you're from the same state. Perhaps the plan to try and undermine the center. Yes, c4 would be the way to do that. Definitely. A6. A6 is counterintuitive. I mean, I think that I might even say risky. Whose side of the board is it anyway? Dude. Alright. I'll bite. Another square from my knight at A3. Debatable. I think this is going to come down to time, unfortunately. I don't really like time to be the decisive factor. That's why I don't play bullet chess. It seems like ridiculous to watch grandmasters just drop pieces to win on time. Blitz is enough, you know. But I think this is going to come down to that. It's like 3-2, a faster game, 5+3. Very close position with a lot of strategy involved. Typically this kind of game, C4, wow. So the strong pawn chain, very, very interesting. Now I'm worried about my b5 pawn for a good reason, I think. Got d3. It's gonna get tactical if I have to play d3. The thing is gonna get pretty crazy. I'm worried about my b5 pawn. d3 is like risky, but Rockport would approve. Rockport recard. Did you ever threefold rep by accident over the board? That's a good question, Move 11. I would be surprised if it didn't happen at some point in the time scramble. I had a funny incident at the New York Masters once, which was like a rapid tournament that's now defunct. I claimed a draw by repetition in massive time pressure, and I lost the pawn here. No, maybe not. It doesn't look good though. Claimed a draw, they ruled me lost, and then after the game, the game was recorded like with a live stream or whatever, and they realized that I was right. Like when I claimed a draw by threefold, they said I didn't have a score or whatever, and I couldn't claim it. But it turned out that I was right, and so they posthumously gave me a draw after the game was over. It's like the first time I've ever seen that kind of thing happen. This is not good. Dracofire playing this really, really well. I'm in a lot of trouble trying to stay alive. At this point, I'm just down a pawn. Down a pawn. I wanted to go for the c4 pawn, but this queen d5 was too big a problem. If I played like knight d2, he has queen d5. So I just lost the pawn. Black's a little bit laggy in development, but I think that he's probably better. Being up a pawn usually doesn't hurt. But who knows? I'm always talking about control the center, development. Here it's not clear. Maybe White's a step ahead in development, but he is a step ahead in material. Our fourth most important concept. Just don't think I have enough compensation for this pawn. The Ponda. We are simply down a Ponda. Not good. So I've avoided the worst. but I'm still just clear pawn down. That b4, man, I mean, it does it to you every time when you play the St. George or the Polish opening. Dracofire plays the Polish himself, so he knows. And he exploited it very well. Queen a5 check, knight c3 instead of bishop c3. There was some reason why I didn't like that. Bishop b4. Knight c3, bishop b4, move 11. It looks like awful. I looked at that, but I was like, oh my goodness. No, I just lose. I'm not a big fan of king d2. That looks like one of Jobaba's games gone wrong. He's actually had games that look like that. Something that perversely bad. When you're a player like Rapport or Jobava and you play crazy openings and stuff, when it goes bad, it goes really bad. There's just no other way to do it. Bishop b4. This drops a piece for black. TacticalAlertness.com. Fortunate. Don't look that link up. It's not a real thing. I just made it up. Like outofthebox.com. I'm just making up stuff. Well, that'll wrap it up, guys. We got lucky here because Dracofire had me under the gun. Queen h5 with a last-ditch effort. The last-ditch effort to complicate matters, but there's just nothing there. We won the piece. We've got h3, and it's no mates, no nothing. No nothing for you. Knight h6, knight f5, probably the best chance. Now he's gone whole hog. Losing too many guys in the process. So he's got the e3 pawn. I don't really want to give him that if I can help it. Soltigo Ian. It's a Soltigo Ian try. Knight takes c4. Well, why not? Defends that pawn that I want to keep. Alright, he resigned. So guys, I'm sorry I can't get to these last challenges. Erda and Seth, I think. I've got to go. It's been a long stream, 2.5 hours plus. I will be back tomorrow, guys. We're going to do a 5+2 viewer stream where we're playing a tournament, an arena tournament, 5+2 casual blitz tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. EDT. Be here, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please donate via PayPal. Support the stream with a subscription on Twitch. Thank you so much, Soltigo, for being our moderator, as always. Thanks, Move11, Spectacular Camel, World Dixon, for the donations, guys. Every little bit helps. And tough games today. Fun openings. I will see you tomorrow. Okay? 4:30 p.m. EDT once again. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Soltigo. Don't forget to check out the replays on YouTube and subscribe and like over there. Video chess training at YouTube. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.